Hello, my subscribers. Welcome to another video here on Jamaican chapter. And today I'm coming to you from the Wesley Mount Methodist Church here in Royal Flat, Manchester. Wesley Mount. And it is a church that is right beside what you call the Macintosh Memorial Primary School. So I will be touring this church to learn about just to see what it looks like, and to also tour the graveyards. So come with me, let's check it out. The rain is gathering, the sky is filled with clouds, so I might have some rain. In fact, it start dewing. But I'm gonna get some information today from Wesley Mount Methodist Church. Nice little road here leading up to the church. I guess you'll get a little exercise every time you come to church if you don't have a car driving you up to the building itself. I've never been up there before, but this is a church that I've passed many times when I'm taking a bus from Mandeville to Kingston. And I pass this church, and there will be a lot of children out there playing. School is on holiday today because tomorrow, May 23, will be Labor Day, and Labor Day is a public holiday. So school is on holiday today for the rest of the week pretty much. So I'll always pass this church, and I said, I have to learn about this church, and the history of those who are buried here. On the top of the church, it says, this is what it says. It says, Wesley Mount Chapel, 1877. So the church was founded, or maybe we say built, 1877. So Wesley Mount Chapel, 1877. That's a long time ago. That's over 100 years ago that they made the decision to build this church. It's a lovely view up here. Lovely view. And such a lovely church. Such a lovely church. From 1877. All the workmen are now gone home, but their handiwork is still here. Over 100 years after they built this place. I can see an old building right up there. Hopefully I see somebody in the church who can tell me what that building was for. Let me see if I can zoom it up. That old building there. Wow, it's a very gorgeous house. But it's now, an old building. I think I'm gonna check it out later on. See how the rain is gonna treat me. And then you have this thing up here. Not sure what this is. I see a little rope hanging down, which gives me the impression that it is a bell. It's a bell inside of it. All right. Let me see. Let's find out what's that. Yes, it is a bell. It is a bell. Doesn't look like this bell has its tongue. And then I still have this thing here. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't want it to ring. I can see in there is very dark. But this, he would pull it and it would ring the bell. I don't want to pull it and then a bell gets ring. Look at this. Wow. We can see here, there's a graveyard up here, but I'm not gonna go to any graveyard yet to know who's buried there yet. I'm gonna instead explore the church. The rain is slowly coming on, and I want to know how this church look from all angles. Such a lovely building. Has survived all these years. Wow. This is the back of the church. And you can see down at the school. And down there again is another group of graves. Those look like they are more recent. The ones here look like they are from maybe the 1800s. But again, I say I'll get to that. And I also get to that old building over there. Somebody's in the church. Oh my God, there's a man up there. I just see a man up there. I saw a man up in that old building. I don't think I want to go up there. But anyway, I'll definitely, maybe he allow me to record and maybe he wants his privacy. So checking out the sides of side of this building, the church rather. And yes, they have security cameras. Wow. So there's a security camera there. There's one there. So while I'm recording, somebody's recording me. And this is the side of the building. Wesley Mount Chapel. That's what it says on the church. And but at the sign at the bottom it says Wesley Mount Methodist Church. Okay, so these are the bathrooms. Male bathroom here. Male bathroom. Hello. So I was talking about the view that we have from up here. And this is it. Look how far I'm standing. Alright, so this is the view you get from Wesley Mount Methodist Church. Beautiful view. According to what I see online, this is Royal Flat. The community of Royal Flat. Such a nice and lovely view here from the church. And the breeze is very cool. As they say, cool, cool Mandeville. We're not in Mandeville, but we're in the parish of Manchester. Mandeville being the capital. And now at the front of the church here, you can see the lot of steps that leads right up to the church. So I am going to go up the step now. Alright guys, so now that we've get a little view of the church, we're gonna go now and look at some graves. Behind the church there are some graves, and we're gonna start with this one at the back of the church. So here we have two graves and two urnement. So those two there are urns inside of them, but the longer ones are graves. So here we have the grave of Joseph A. Dixon, beloved father and grandfather, July 10, 1903 to February 17, 1986. Rest in peace. So this is the resting place of Joseph A. Dixon. He was born in 1903. He died 1986, which means that he was 82 because his birthday didn't come yet. And over there, before reading the urnement, let me go and check out the full grave over there. Alright, so I'm on the other side, and this is the resting place of Constance Adelaide Dixon. That's Constance Adelaide Dixon, beloved mother, grandmother, great grandmother, November 29, 1904 to May 4, 1979. Rest in peace. So Constance and Joseph over there, I believe, were husband and wife. Husband and wife. And in the middle, who are the ones in the middle? So I'm inside of the grilled up area. And here we have the grave of Thelma A. Dixon, beloved daughter, sister, aunt, born October 20, 1938, died May 14, 2018, and she was cremated, Thelma Dixon. And this is the grave of Oswald L. Dixon, July 10, 1947 to February 8, 2020, beloved son, brother, father, and uncle. So I think what happened here is that Joseph and Constance are the mother, and Thelma and Oswald are daughter and son. So they are resting between their mom and dad here in the graveyard of Wesley Mount Methodist Church. Beside the Dixon family, we have here a grave of Myrtle Pearl McCormack. So in loving memory of Myrtle Pearl McCormack, wife of Charles Augustus McCormack, mother of Namron. Okay, so Myrtle, she was born on the 12th of June 1927, and she died on the 3rd of July 2008. The grave of Myrtle Pearl McCormack. Beside Myrtle, we have Charles Augustus McCormack. This must be Myrtle's husband. It says, sacred to the memory of Charles Augustus McCormack, born the 8th of August, 1904, died the 2nd of April, 1979. So Charles Augustus McCormack was born in the year 1904 and died in the year 1979. He is described as devoted husband of Myrtle. So I was right. The devoted husband of Myrtle, father of Namron, Gloria, and Cynthia, a good Christian gentleman, respected and beloved, resting in heavenly peace. So this is the husband of Myrtle, and he died all the way back in 1979, and Myrtle died in 2008. You know, that's a long time. In loving memory of Rhoda Maud Blair, a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother who departed this life December 8, 1983, age 83. So Rhoda Maud Blair, likely that she was born in 1900, you know. So she died at 83 in 1983. Beside Rhoda, we are looking here at the resting place of, and this is broken off. You can see piece here, piece here, but I think it's readable. It say, in loving memory of Theodore McLaren Blair. Okay, so this could be the husband of Rhoda Blair then, because it's in loving memory of Theodore McLaren Blair, a devoted husband, father, and grandfather who departed this life November 13, 19 something. Let me see if I can figure out. Maybe it's 19. I'm not sure what that is. It's broken off, but hopefully I find his record so I can know. But he died age 73. It says November 13, 19 something. All right, so this is definitely the husband. Theodore is definitely the husband of Rhoda up there. All right, let's keep moving. And we're here now at the grave of, let me get a little closer and let me see if I can read it. It says, in loving memory of a devoted husband and father, Herbert what is this, Johnson? Herbert Johnson. This is a really nice sturdy grave. You just need some scrubbing off for you to see the grave properly again. So beside Herbert Johnson, we have this grave that is getting covered up by shrubs or whatever you want to call it. This must be his wife, Herbert's wife. She's a Johnson. It says, in loving memory of Amy Rosalie Johnson, wife of Herbert Lester Johnson. Okay. So now we know the full name. So this is Herbert Lester Johnson. All right, I just want to say that we now know the full name. So on his wife's grave, it says, in loving memory of Amy Rosalie Johnson, wife of Herbert Lester Johnson, mother of Myrtle and Kathleen, born on November 22, 1904, died the 5th of December 1974. So she was born the 22nd of November 1904 and she died the 5th of December 1974. And she's described as the mother of Myrtle. I don't know if that's the same Myrtle we read about right up there. Maybe it could be. I don't know. I'd have to go and check, but I'm not gonna bother. So this is Rosalie Johnson, wife of Herbert Lester Johnson. And Lester Johnson died in 1990. His wife died in 1974. So Lester lived a little longer than his wife. And in here, it's all grilled up. I'm telling you, that tree root, this tree root, it must have gone right into the coffin or whatever of it left under there. This is the grave of let me go and check out these other graves I see up here. This grave was all grilled around. The grilled no rust. Got rusty. Because the years that pass, and maybe those who used to come and maintain it, have also died out. Let me see if I can make out the name of who's buried here. So those who used to maintain her grave, they are probably also gone too. So as we know, some things are just for a time. You know, you can take care of somebody's grave, but then your own mortality will come. And then there's nobody else. The new generation that comes along, they hardly remember. Because think about it. Do you remember your great-great-grandparents? Or do you even know where they are buried? So, you know, Alice over there, whoever used to grill around her grave and take care of it, they probably have reached the end of their rope also. So, you know, probably don't have anybody come and visit Alice, you know. All right, I'm standing over the grave of Reverend Percy Hayworth. Hayworth. Heyworth. Hayworth. So it says, in loving memory of Reverend Percy Hayworth, born 18th of January 1880, and he died the 1st of September 1949. And his wife, Ada Alice, the 17th of August, 1880, and she died on December 21, 1957. So this headstone speaks about Reverend Percy Hayworth and his wife, Ada Alice. He died 1949, she died 1957. The grave is wide enough, so I think the both of them were buried separately. But you can see it's wide enough to hold two coffin. Yeah. Reverend Percy Hayworth. You can see here that there are some graves here, some old-time graves, but there's nothing on them. That's a grave there, that's a grave there, that's a grave there, that's a grave there, that's a grave there. There's some graves over here. These look like they can be read. So I'm gonna go in and do some reading. This says, in loving memory of a dearly beloved father, Vincent Murray, died September 19, 1981, age 70. Vincent Murray. He died in 1981. I think this must be his wife. In loving memory of Mum. She was called Mum. In loving memory of Mum. So it's in loving memory of Mum, and her full name is Lillian Murray. Born 1899, died 1977. May she rest in peace. So, no doubt, Lillian Murray was the wife of Vincent Murray over there. And Vincent Murray, he lived some 4 years after her death. So, wife, husband, Lillian and Vincent Murray. In loving memory of Catherine, what's this? Carter. Catherine Carter. Born 1905 and she died 1988. So this is the grave of Catherine Carter, 1905 to 1988. I'm not going to go to that grave. There's nothing on this one. There's nothing on this one. This one is very wide. So it must be two graves. Two coffins under there. This one over here is a very old one. Nothing is written on it. This person is lost to time. New generations will come. Children will play on it. They won't know who was buried there. This looked like it was a family plot. You can see about 3, maybe more graves that were there, but in time they fell apart. So these graves are at the top behind this church, behind the church. You can see the rain is building up, thick dark clouds. All of here was filled with graves, but they all fall apart as time went by. But this one has some writing on it. Let me see if I can figure out what it says. Sacred to the memory of Edith Mary Miller, died I can see August 1897. And there is another person's name on it, Arthur Wesley Miller. Died the 16th of January 1894. Age, I'm not gonna make out the age. I don't know what the age is. 6 months? 6 months. Arthur Wesley Miller was 6 months old. She said age 6 months. So there's two babies buried in here. All right. So I'm moving from the back of the church and I'm going down towards the side of the church. So we can see there are recent graves here. What we have just part we have just been through, we saw mostly like, graves from way back. But these graves, you can see that they're recent. So we're gonna check out this section of the graveyard here at Wesley Mount Methodist Church. You would have heard a lot of students today, a lot of children making noise, but as you can see, as I said before, it's a holiday. It's not a holiday today. Today is May 22, 2025, but May 23, which is tomorrow, will be a public holiday. So they just let the school go on holiday from now. So quiet over there, but you would hear a lot of student making a lot of noise. All right, I'm gonna go all the way out here, and then I kind of go back. Some of the graves, they don't have anything on them yet. And what I can do is only, wow, they must have played football here. Nice place to play football and cricket. No doubt that piece of strip you see right there, that's for cricket. All right. This grave is all tiled up. You can know it was recent. And it says, in loving memory of Myrtle Agatha Lindale, born October 16, 1925 to December 16, 2019. So Myrtle Agatha Lindale, she lived a long life. If she had lived to this year, she would be 100. You notice this is no one is buried here yet. They covered it, but no one is buried in these. All of these that you're looking at right there. No one buried in them yet. So beside Myrtle Agatha Lindale, we have the grave of Austin Francis. There's a picture of Austin there. a picture of him, an elderly man. So it says, in loving memory of a dear husband, father, grand and great grandfather, Austin Francis, sunrise July 25, 1931, to sunset November 2, 2019. Sadly missed by your beloved wife, family, and friends, forever in our hearts. God loveth a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9, verse 7. The grave of Austin Francis. He was buried just a month before Myrtle over there. So these are reserved. No one is inside of these yet. No one is buried in here yet. All of these. This one, someone was buried there. And you can see that someone was buried there. They're in the process of putting together a nice grave headstone. There like there's 3 individuals buried here. 1, 2, 3. All right. Here we have the resting place of. Here we have the resting place of. Look like husband and wife. The both of them are Morrison. See, no. Loved and blessed husband, father, granddad, and carpenter Abraham A. Morrison, born the 22 of the 7th, 1923, died the 29 of the 3, 2012. Abraham Morrison died in 2012, and beside him, I believe, is his wife. It says, loved and blessed wife, mother, grandmother, and seamstress. Burial, C.M. Morrison. Born July 1, 1930, died April 24, 2020. So husband and wife, Abraham and his wife, burial. Both of them are Morrison. They have reserved tombs here. And there are several of them. I can count at least 9. I can see 9 of them not used yet. This looked like it was an urnment. Someone's urn placed there. Oh, this is the grave of Marjorie. Marjorie Evadne Chambers. November 18, 1947 to July 22, 2008. Marjorie Evadne Chambers. Marjorie. Should I go down there or do the top? I'm gonna do the top ones first. Another urnment. All right, you see, this is gonna make it difficult for me to read the way that the thing is made. I can't read it, man. It's difficult. I think I see Lister Richards, 19 of the 10, 1909 to the 14th of the 8th, 2017. So 1909 to 2017 for Lister Richards. You see, the black thing, those little black marks, that's what make it possible to read. But the little black marks, they are rubbing out. Clarice May Richards, 25 of the 4, 1915 to the 14th of the 12, 2011. Lister and Clarice. Wow. This grave looks nice. Complete white. You know? Completely white grave here. It says Luther Alexander Brown, 1922 to 2022. Wow, he was almost 100. If April of 22 had come, he would have been 100. So he was born in 1922 and died in 2022. Luther Alexander Brown. And beside Luther, we see Shirley Brown. March 19, 1944, died May 4, 2007. The husband and wife, Luther and Shirley. Shirley was born after Luther and she died before him. You know, so Luther had a really long life. Yeah, Luther had a really long life. Someone is buried here, but they didn't add anything. This is Hazel May Holness, 1924. That's April 16, 1924 to January 16, 2007. And they wrote A Wonderful Wife, Mother, and Grandmother. Hazel May Holness. Who is buried beside Hazel? I love the tiling of this grave. Noel Spencer Lawrence. August 26, 1915 to September 15, 2006. So he was born in 1915 and he died in 2006. Noel Spencer Lawrence. Over here, Linda Maud Roberts. Born January 29, 1926. Died January 25, 2004. Linda Maud Roberts. The sun is very hot. The sun is very hot here in Royal Flat. It's not that flat. I don't see anything that flat with it. Yeah, the sun is very hot here. Very hot. Mary Ellen Hitcher Lawrence. September 21, 1912 to July 3, 1995. So she never left the 1990s. She never left the 1990s. You know, she died in 1995. Amy Veronica Herald. Amy Veronica Herald. She was born in 1908 and she died in the year 2000. She lived to see the new millennium. She lived until March 2000. Such a nice design inside of this. I've never seen this before. I guess they would have to come and add some flowers in it and nice it up back again, huh? So here, ooh, oh my, I didn't see you. I didn't see you at all. Poor little puppy was there relaxing, thinking no one would ever come and interrupt him. Hello, puppy. It was scary for the first 2 seconds. I'm wondering what was moving. In loving memory of a dear aunt, Sylvia Senior Buckle. August 1, 1935 to June 22, 2002. Besides Sylvia, we have the grave of Grace Doreen Titus Knee Wholeness. So she was born Grace Doreen Wholeness, right? And she got married to a Titus. I've never heard the surname Titus. I heard it as a Christian name, that's what they call it, but I've never heard it as a surname. But here it say Grace Doreen Titus, Knee Wholeness, September 2, 1947 to February 10, 2008. Grace Doreen Titus. Lovely grave, lovely tiling. Here we are at the grave of Lancelot Key Smith, 1922 to 2002. Lancelot Smith. I hope I pronounce it right. Smith. I don't know. I get a lot of criticism. I remember I was making a video and I keep saying Smith. And I think I got it right, and then I got another criticism. But before that, I was just saying Simit. You know what? You all know what I mean, right? Smith. Let's just keep it like that. So this is in loving memory of Velma Elnora Smith. Sunrise, March 10, 1923 to sunset, December 22, 2016. So 1923 to 2016, Velma Elnora Smith. So I came across this grave. Well, I'm going across each grave, but I came across this grave here. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm just saying it before I start showing you it. So this is the resting place of, you say, in loving memory of Derek A. McGee. I'm gonna put it on the screen. McGhie. I don't know what that last name is. So anyway, Derek, and that name is here on the screen. He was born the 27th of the 2, 1932, and he died the 24th of the 12th, 2005. So 1932 to 2005 for Derek. This is another reserved grave again. Woo! Oh my God, I almost fell in it. I don't know what would happen if I broke my foot all the way out here in Royal Flat. I don't know I don't know that name. It's all rubbed out. I can't figure it out. These again are urns. I'm walking on urns. You see, in loving memory of Beryl Hardle. That must look like Hardle. 1910 to 2002. That's a long life. 1910 to 2002. That's a long life. This is the resting place of Leona Macintosh Manan Leona. Okay, I don't know what that is. I have to just leave it the way it is. Look at this. I don't know who designed this or who designed the tiling, but they did an awesome job. Awesome job, tilers. You did an awesome job. Awesome job. I'm gonna go down and read, see if I can go in and read it. Alright, so I'm in. It says, in loving memory of Wilbert Lindsay, March 3, 1922 to April 19, 2002. Wilbert Lindsay, and this must be his wife, Hyacinth Lindsay. March 9, 1927 to September 12, 2021. So she lived a good time after the death of her husband, Wilbert. They have a lovely grave here. Lovely graves are lovely tombs. The tiling well done. The design. Oh, the design of the words. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is the tomb of Hyacinth Smith. Hyacinth Smith. And she was called Carmen. She died on December 24, 2011. The grave of Hyacinth Smith. She was called Carmen. Love the design of the headstone. What is it made of? Lovely, lovely design. And there are two, not just one, there are two flower pots here. Mean that they miss you a lot, Carmen. They miss you a lot. Over here, these two graves are designed with the same, made with the same design. So obviously husband and wife. I don't even read the names yet. So I say, in loving memory of a dear wife, mother, and grandmother, Daisy Sylvia Peart. Peart. May 25, 1929 to December 11, 2011. Daisy Peart. And I believe this is her husband who died a year after her. It says, in loving memory of our father, grandfather, great-grandfather, Claude Edgerton Peart, born January 1, 1926, died December 19, 2012. So he lived a year after his wife over there, Daisy. George Roach. That's George Roach. Born the 25 of the 12, 1924. Wow. He was born on Christmas Day in 1924 and he died the 29th of January 2012. George Roach, you were born on Christmas Day. That's nice. Every Christmas Day is your birthday. That must feel nice. Every Christmas Day is your birthday. Wow. Beloved mother, Myrtle Johnson Abrahams. February 8, 1929 to July 10, 2009. This headstone will last a long time. You see those deep cuts inside to make the letters? This will last many generations will come here and see this of Myrtle Johnson Abrahams. Lovely headstone. This one doesn't get its headstone yet. Here at the grave of Calvin Lloyd Williams. Calvin Lloyd Williams. It says, fond memories of a devoted husband, stepfather, and step-grandfather, Calvin Lloyd Williams. Sunrise, July 18, 1934 to sunset, August 10, 2011. I've never read a headstone that says stepfather, as far as I can remember. It's so nice. He might have been a very nice stepfather because they know how delicate step relations are. Stepmother, stepdaughter, stepfather, you know. So Calvin here must have been a very, very helpful, loving stepfather because he's called a devoted husband, stepfather, and grand stepfather. People don't recognize grand stepfathers, you know. Wow. Lovely. Oscar Ricketts. In loving memory of a beloved father, husband, and grandfather, Oscar Ricketts. Sunrise, October 5th, 1939 to sunset, January 8th, 1923. Sadly missed by family and friends. We will always remember you. And over here is the grave of Angela Ricketts. So I believe This is Oscar's wife. Say, in loving memory of a beloved wife, mother, and grandmother, Angela Ricketts. Sunrise, August 10, 1945 to sunset, July 25, 2010. So she died first, Angela died first, and Oscar Wood died almost 13 years after. There's this grave. I'm seeing this grave, and it's all inside of this grilled up area. Let's see who it belongs to. Says, in loving memory of a dear husband, J. Augustus Malcolm. So let's just say J. Malcolm, 1922 to 1998. So that's May 17, 1922 to May 5, 1998. So J. Augustus Malcolm was a May guy, born in May, died in May, so that he cannot say he didn't see the light of day. OJ, born in May. Harold Reed, born the 25th of the 7th, 1913, died the 28th of the 7th, 1996. Harold Reed. I wonder what Harold Reed was like. You know, what was Harold Reed like as a person? Was he friendly? You know, was he miserable? Was he a sweet guy, a bad guy? You know, you don't know. This is the resting place of Rosa Maud Peart. Rosa Maud Peart, yeah. And she was born January 6, 1904, and she died October 17, 1995. Rosa Maud Peart. Henroy Tomlin. I've never heard the last name Henroy. Henroy Tomlin. February 28, 1929 to February 2, 1999. So he died leaving wife, children, grandchildren, and relatives. I'm gonna go back up that side. I wanna go back up that side to the church. You know? I'll go up to that side. These graves are chipping off. Stripping off. Jocelyn Peart. Jocelyn Peart, 1920 to 2005. And who's over there? Okay, coming round this side, the name is Percival Noel Peart. James Victor Alex Stewart. That's James Victor Alex Stewart. 1921 to 1990. Arthur James Carroll. That's the grave of Millicent Lewis Warsop. 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 She was born in 1932 and she died in 2017. Millicent Louise Warsop. That grave up there is the grave of Wilfred Richards. Wilfred Richards. He was born on December 13, 1902. Can you imagine that day when he was born? Oh, it's a boy. What will you call him? A Wilfred, you know. A Wilfred, his name is. 1902 to 1989. This here, which looks like an ornament, it says James A. Clark. James A. Clark, 1934 to 2011. Beside him here we have Keturah. That's Keturah Richards. August 1908 to 1981. This is another ornament, and it has a photograph. We have two names on this one and two photographs. So there's a photograph here and then there's a photograph there. And one say Frederica Latoya, no, Lata. The first one is Birdie. So you have a Birdie to his name there. July 18, 1914 to October 17, 1995. That's for Frederica. And for Pauline is May 25, 1952 to November 5, 2004. So there are two persons here and you can see two photographs there. This is an older grave. This is the grave of Hazel Bird, 1919 to 1992. And beside Hazel Bird, we have I'm not sure who this person is. 1917 to 1994. Beside them, we have the grave of Cynthia. Let me look. Let's move this a little. Cynthia Logan Nee Johnson, She was born in 1947. She died in 2017. I'm gonna read two more graves, and this is the first time I'm just gonna choose not to read every grave. I know maybe you have relatives buried here, and you would want to see if you see their graves, but I'm not gonna read every grave here. I'm just gonna read few more, about three more, and then you know this is the grave of John Augustus Lewis, 1899 to 1981, and I think this is his wife, Gladys Lewis, 1903 to 1997, husband and wife. I wonder how they met. It's not Gladys, it's actually Esma. Esma Gladys Lewis. So Esma and John. Was it John who made the first move at Esma? Well, John, you got Esma, and now the both of you are resting beside each other on the grounds of what? Wesley Mount Methodist Church. I see a lot of trucks passing by. A lot of trucks. In loving memory of William R. Lopsey. I've never heard this last name, Lopsey. Lubsey, 1902 to 1982. So he was about 80 years old, William R. Lopsey. And this is the grave of Ethel Bernard. Ethel Bernard, 1890 to 1982. So she was buried the same year as William over there. That's an old grave. That over there is an old grave. And those up there are old graves also. But they are ruined. They're ruined. So you don't know who. And this here's a very old grave right there. Right over there. That's an old grave. I see that grave right over there. You see that grave? I'm gonna go over there and check it out. But before I do that, let me read this one here. This is the tomb of Violet Patmore. Violet Patmore. Born January 3, 1916. Died June 9, 1991. Patmore. Look at that. This was a grave. This was a grave. That was a grave. They're all ruined. This one again, this is an old type of grave. That over there again. This is all ruined. This looked like it had writings on it. You can see the design. Much effort was put into it. Now it's all ruined. This looks like a recent burial. Recent burial, the bouquet or whatever you call, not bouquet, the wreath are still fresh. This is an old type of grave. Let me see if I can figure the name out. Say, in loving memory of I'm not making that out. I'm just but you can see, look at the thing they place around it. You can see at the time they put a lot of effort in it. This is a reserves grave. The person's not dead yet. This just say D small. D small. Here we have a grave with a man's photograph. And it says Kenneth George Fagan. Born May 7, 1932. Died October 29, 2016. He was called Bobby. He was called Bob Kenneth George Fagan. Mr. Fagan. Alright guys, so this has been my tour of Wesley Mount Methodist Church here in Royal Flat, the parish of Manchester. A church that was founded in 1877. Whomever decided to put the church upon this hill and bought the spot did a really great job, because it's absolutely beautiful from this spot. I love it. Thanks for watching, and this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm gonna tell you what's coming up next in this video, from this video. So every time I make a video, I might tell you what's coming up. I'm not gonna say I will. So coming up, in my next video, I will be looking at the two Aunt Joyce from Royal Palm Estate, the two actresses who played Aunt Joyce on Royal Palm Estate. I will be looking at them, so stay tuned for that video. So here from Wesley Mount Methodist Church here in Royal Flat, I say thanks for watching, and I see you again in another interesting video like this.